ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to YAPCAST episode 3. It's been a minute, honestly. It's been a minute. I am not even in the same apartment anymore. But here we are. I've made it. I have installed my setup. Hope you all are doing well. Today, we have a special episode with a special guest, Mr. ChiefKinzo from Germany. If you don't know him, he is a creator who primarily has been focused on Counter-Strike as of right now, but I think it's generally safe to say that he's just a content creator generally who shares his life in a pretty philosophical way that kind of speaks to me. So I felt like it was just a great idea to connect and to have a bit of a moment to talk about different things. And I've met him once through a game on Counter-Strike Source, so we decided let's get back on it. Let's get back in Counter-Strike and have a little bit of a conversation. I want to start by talking a little bit about what you've been doing recently, and then we can kind of expand from there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I think it's an interesting topic to talk about. You know, when you're a content creator and you decide to kind of to change things up in your content a little bit and move forward or move on from something. So your last video is titled "It's Time to Move On," right? That you made just a few days ago, maybe a week ago, right?
Yeah, a few days ago actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like, you know, whilst watching it and trying to understand where you're coming from with everything, it really sounds more than anything like an effort for you to recover mentally from the difficulty that it kind of brought to have to play Counter-Strike more competitively and stuff, mostly for content and for your own achievement. And how what was the goal behind the video when you decided to make it? What was the main idea?
Well, the main idea behind that is, I think that's something that I do differently. Is for me that you have to know the background about me, of me as a person. So I always try to communicate what's on my mind, with my wife, with my family, with friends. Literally, the moment that a thought hits my mind, I try to verbalize it. I try to share it. And I want to be as transparent as possible so that if something happens, like it did at that point, and I'm going into the specifics just in a moment, people have to, or I want that my closest people, which my viewers are in the world of the internet, know what was going on beforehand. So
right.
Having that in mind, I I started this channel around a year ago. Exactly a year ago. It was September 2024. The channel itself is already 10 years old, but I never uploaded things on it. I randomly uploaded some stuff that I was testing around the years. So I always wanted to record videos. Anyways, and when I started it, I had a clear goal in mind. My goal was to be able to quit my job and become a content creator / Counter-Strike player. And there was a bit of a clickbait because I kind of knew that getting pro in a year is impossible. Nobody could do that. But at least making a living out of playing Counter-Strike, which kind of equals as being a pro for me, honestly.
Somewhat, yeah.
If you look at Renyan or any other people, they're playing Counter-Strike for a living. And I swear to God, they're making more bank than any pro player. 100%. But it's not about, as I always say, it's not about the money for me. It's about being able to do what I love on a daily basis. And to do so, you gotta earn money with what you're doing, because otherwise you will not have the time. And in my job, I'm lucky enough to have a really, really good job. But I also work my ass off for that job. So, so I'm not having trouble with money or issues. So I'm not doing that mainly for money. But however, spending 8-9 hours a day at my job, which requires a lot of mental energy, and then coming back, trying to do content, kind of was a hard task to accomplish for anybody.
For sure.
So that was my goal, to start doing a channel, start creating content. Being creative is a beautiful thing, to be creative. I really enjoy that. So that was the intention of starting this channel. And lo and behold, and we have a video that I uploaded, and it kicked off. immediately. It went viral, like not viral, but it got like a lot of people got attention on me, and it was going great for the journey. And that was like what my channel was about. My journey in becoming a great Counter-Strike player from not a great Counter-Strike player, and what I will achieve to show people that if you're putting enough hard work, you will get there.
Yeah.
So that was like the obligation of that channel, like because it turned out pretty soon that what I was doing kind of started to hurt me, because spending all the time, like all my day at work and then coming home to my family and then having only 2-3 hours tops is, and spending that time on playing Counter-Strike, which always is a gamble, was kind of frustrating. Because why is it a gamble? It takes time to do my drills, to do my exercises, to get better. It's a mechanical game. Okay, that's fine. But the games themselves can be a gamble. Who are your teammates that you're being queued with? What are your enemies? Like, if you're having enemies that are playing like tier 1 pros and sweating in there, my day is not going well after that. That's for sure. And for a long time, for many months, I went on with that, right? I went on with that, and I just grinded through it because I'm having that grind mindset. Like, I never accept that I'm done with something. Like, I gotta grind it out. I have to be the best in it. I have to finish the job. So I forced myself through all that process. I sat down, I played every day. In 2 weeks, I was having like 60, 70, 80 hours in Counter-Strike. I went, I don't know, from having 500 hours when I was starting to 1,700 now. So in a year, I had 1,200 hours Counter-Strike.
Jeez.
As somebody who has a family and a full-time job.
That's pretty crazy.
So why? Because I kind of felt obligated. Like, okay, I was talking to myself like, yo, there are these subscribers, these viewers, the community, and they're expecting something. Like, they subscribed because they want to see the journey. They want to see me grinding. And then I started to feel exhausted and tired, but I was still forcing myself because I was saying like, hey, you gotta deliver. That's what you have to do. That's what you told them. That's what you promised. And after a while, I just realized that along the way, something started to suffer. The content creation, because I kind of lost my creativity for Counter-Strike content, like for what to do, because I was focused that much on that grind that I started to slack off with some content. I started to upload videos that I deleted 2 days after because I was not satisfied with them, which also hurt my channel. The algorithm started to mess up my videos. I kind of got frustrated in 2 ways. I got frustrated in the game, and I got frustrated in the content creation. And now imagine spending, as I said, like my time is pretty precious, and imagine spending those precious hours playing a game that's frustrating you, creating sloppy ass content afterwards because you're really, really exhausted and tired, and then uploading that content just to see it fail. And sometimes not even like sometimes it wasn't even my fault. It was just the algorithm that started to push my video into Korean cooking videos. So, and that's where the frustration began, and it started to hurt me. And so I decided to let go of that. And that's why, sorry, that was a really long explanation. That's why I did the video to explain the situation that I was in, to say it's kind of time to move forward. I would really love to still create content, but the mission that I had, I wouldn't say it's failed, like I haven't failed it, but I would just like to take a step back from that mission, kind of get myself going into other topics, and be creative again, give my brain in my mental a quick break from all that was happening. And yeah, here we are. And since I haven't played like grinding, face it, and CS for weeks now. If I was playing, I was just having some fun premiere games and so on, just out of fun. And well, I've been happier than ever I've been the happiest for the past year now in the last few weeks. Like I was feeling fresh, rejuvenated, and I was realizing, oh my goodness, okay, there was a problem.
Would you say then that like, you know, that making like content that would attract the masses kind of comes at the cost of your mental well-being in a lot of ways if you're not able to be, you know, lucky with the algorithm, and especially if you have to play a game like CS where, you know, the community wants to either watch like pro play or maybe skin content, or sometimes like DMA will have kind of challenges, but it's kind of limited. Would you say that it kind of comes at that cost then? Because like that's what it seems to be when you're talking about it.
Yes, it does. I mean, I realized pretty quick that being a successful Counter-Strike YouTuber or being a new Counter-Strike content creator and being successful at that is kind of hard. It's harder than doing that in the CSGO days. Like if you're looking at all the successful content creators, Counter-Strike content creators, like the successful channels that still are having thousands of views, having a grown community. Those are all the guys from back in the day. Let's have a look at War Owl, Sparkles, Renyan, Furious, Hikes, Anomaly. Those guys have been in the game for 10, 13, 14 years.
Oh, like, sure.
Like the fame and the success did not come with CS2. Like they started becoming successful. I mean, they're working their asses off, and I really, really respect them. Really, I'm in touch with some of them, and they are really workhorses. They are creative people. Anyways, so I think the chances of getting a really successful new Counter-Strike 2 YouTuber is harder than it was back in the day. And the reason behind is, like you said, that the audience has shifted from what they want to see. So if you look at Counter-Strike content, what do the people want to see? They're wanting to see the pro players, right? It has become a successful esport more than ever, honestly. Like I was in Cologne, it was sold out, it was crazy. Those arenas are being filled. So yeah, it's an esport, and even people who don't have anything to do with Counter-Strike or who are not playing that are watching that because it's like it's like football. It's nice. Not every person who's watching football is playing football. So
for sure,
that's the majority of it. So the esport people don't want to see somebody like me going from zero to hero, or somebody who's trying to do genuine content. Then you have the other faction who watches Counter-Strike content for tutorials. Good players who try to teach and coach. Like there is this guy, he's called Ride or Die. Lovely guy, really. He's really, really chill. He's one of the few Counter-Strike creators who is not ADHD, but who is successful because he's a great player and he's teaching how he got that great. He's teaching all that stuff. So there you have like the more fundamental videos talking about the game, about progressing in the game. Then you're having, and War Owl is one of them, right? He started like that. But then you're having people, the skin faction, Anomaly, Jesus, you have Sparkles, of course, right? They do like crazy things. And I'm not talking about One Pixel, because One has mutated to not only being a CS creator.
Yeah, for sure.
He's like everything, right? But the main focus and the main reason he got that big is, of course, him overreacting, and people want to see that. People are ADHDing on stuff like that, on skins. So having risky things, opening gambling, right? People want to have the dopamine kick from just watching people maybe wasting the fortune of other people. Which is like opening 100K dollars of cases. Like, wow, okay, people want to see that. People want to feel like, oh my goodness, is he going to waste all that money? If you're seeing Sparkles, he's doing those risky trade-ups, right?
Yeah.
Preparing himself to potentially waste hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if people are watching this, there's the thrill behind watching that. Like, I'm not into skins, but if the video that Sparkles did on what is it called? On the Dragon Lore that he did the trade up, I was sitting there and I was feeling it. I was having emotions. I was like, oh my goodness, is he going to make it? Is he going to make it? Or is he going to waste a lot of money? Oh my goodness, what happens if he wastes it? So that's why people are into that skin content, right? Into that gambling content. What I think is the worst are the people who are doing the content against Counter-Strike. There are people who are complaining about the game, and that's their only content. So you're having the skin fraction, you're having the people who are watching esports, you're having the people who are into the skin stuff, and then you're having people who are only complaining about Counter-Strike, right? Who are only complaining about Counter-Strike, about Valve, everything. Like, they hate the game, but they still do content about the game, and they still earn money on that game, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to call names, but there are 2 or 3 who literally only shit on their content is only shitting on Valve.
I actually want to make a quick parenthesis about, like, when it comes to pro play. I do remember when CS2 came out that a lot of pros would obviously shit, and notably Simple would be shitting on the game for being in the state that it was. And the one guy who didn't was Rops, and I remember like that he even worked with Valve a lot to actually get the game in a playable state for the pros, which I think was super, like, commendable of him. I really like him as a pro player. I think he's really cool. Yeah, like most other pros, most people were just complaining like, oh my god, they fucked up our game, but you kind of have to live with what you have at that point.
It's not just about like shitting on the state of the game. It's like blaming the devs, blaming other people, blaming. But in the end of the day, if that game wouldn't exist, you would not make a single dime out of everything. So in that moment, I just think, shut the fuck up. So you either do some genuine content, or you do another game. Like, if you hate that game that much, if you hate that company so much, why are you advertising their game?
Exactly.
So just, that's what I want to say. But I was saying something on stream today, that those are the types of content, and then kind of to be a successful new content creator for that, it's not 2015 anymore. The content creation kind of has changed. You gotta be like this ADHD kind of type YouTuber. Like, you gotta be screaming around, doing some crazy stuff. Nobody's interested anymore in being like genuine, like really how they are in real life, and that's what I try to be. And I mean, that's maybe one of the reasons why I'm getting lower views as I would in the beginning. But that's okay, and I take that. So when I did the latest video calling, like, I will take a step away, or the next step rather, I think I felt so good afterwards, because the obligation was gone. Like, okay, nobody's expecting something from me. My channel isn't doing great anyways, so I'm just going to take some time off and figure out what things I really want to do content about. It could be in the Counter-Strike space still, but the face it, grind, and see when I'm like, look how I get to level 10 and blah, and then having frustrations on camera in order to make people want to watch what I'm doing, and like see my frustration and watch because I was having a really, really bad game or a really, really crazy game. But funny enough, people were more interested in the most frustrating games than in the great games that I was pulling off. So yeah, people are just having like those rage bait moments where they want to see somebody frustrating, right? They want to see me failing, and I get it. It's content. It's fun, right? If you're watching YouTube, you kind of want to have something to watch, like, which is, I don't know, you wanna, like, people are like that. If are those homemade amateur fun videos where people falling down and other people are laughing at each other, like, wow, haha, he tripped. It's kind of the same, right?
I did want to actually like ask a question because it's something that people would probably be kind of curious about. Like you kind of had this, we can call it kind of a collab that happened with Sparkles, which was definitely a pretty big thing. Would you see that as like a turning point for the trajectory of your channel at the time, or how did it feel when it happened? When you got a message from him.
To answer your second question first, it didn't do anything to my channel. And I did not expect that, to be honest. Because the audience that watches Sparkles videos is not interested in my kind of content. They're interested in people opening cases, people doing trade-ups, people hunting for skins, like exactly what Sparkles is doing. So his content is genuine for what he's doing. So if I would start to do content like that, it wouldn't be genuine because I'm not into those things. Yeah, so the trajectory didn't last, actually. A lot of people, like, yeah, of course, they're like, I gained like 500 to 600 subs or something like that, which is not much, considering that it was a video which reached like 150K views.
Right, true, yeah.
So, but that's not the problem. I did not blame anybody. Like, in that moment, and now to go to your first questions, how it was, is that I got scammed, right? I was a fool. I got scammed. 28-year-old baby is getting scammed. Yeah, not the best thing happening to me. And then one day I was like, yo, I was getting online and I was removing friend invitations because sometimes people just randomly invite me, and I was seeing that Sparkles has sent me a friend request on Steam. And I was like, wait a second, is that the real Sparkles? I was like, if there was somebody in the chat is saying, if there was a 7-day trade, secure, what is it called? The 7-day protection. Yeah, I would have not been scammed. Yeah, sure. So let's just explain the scam. So I was new with all these, with all the face it thing and grind, and like my channel was like, my first video was like 2 months old at that point. So when I first started, and I got an invitation to play in with a team. They wanted to play with me, and there was like a tournament and stuff like that, and I can sign up, and it was still all in Faceit, but they kind of faked the Faceit side, so it took me from Faceit to their side, and I logged in with my Steam. I thought, oh, I will be fine logging in with my QR code, but there's the problem that happened. I was stupid enough to get API scammed and lost everything, including the knife that my wife has gifted me for like being motivated for the channel to do my thing. Anyways, then I saw that friend request, I checked, and it was really him, and my heart started racing because I've been following Sparkles for the last 13 years. Back in the day, he was not doing skins videos. He was doing, like, at first he was having, it's called Sparkles Production. Back in the day, I used to do some Counter-Strike source edits. It was a thing. I don't know if you remember or not. Maybe the older heads remember that. Like, you were taking frag movies or frag clips of Counter-Strike source, and you would edit them like in a crazy way. One day it went over to Call of Duty, but it was mostly Counter-Strike source, because you had the possibility of source TV and everything like that. And those, like, you had studios, you had like production teams, and you could get into those and stuff like that. So you can submit your crazy clips, and maybe you'll get into one team. And one of the bigger teams was the Sparkles Production. Or he did great videos, actually. He was a really good, he did a really good job in there. And then, yeah, then I watched his CSGO content sometimes, where he was doing those ninja diffuses. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I accepted it, and he texted me like, yo, I saw that you got scammed. You know what? let's do a video where I would like to offer you the chance to challenge me in a way, like a different channel, like 1v1s on aim maps, b-hop, surf. And at the end of the day, if you beat me in those challenges, you can win. I mean, it was obvious that I will win, because that's a creative video idea, right? It was good for him. It was nice for me, and he said like, "Yo, you know what? You can get your knife back and stuff like that." And people start to get to know you because I really like your content. Like, we had a nice chat afterwards, and before that also, we're still in contact. So sometimes. He gives me tips about content creation and YouTube and all that stuff. Like, he's been doing that for 15 years or so. If you look at his channel is from 2009. Most of my viewers weren't even born that. Nah, I'm joking. Yeah, and that was the video, and I felt really, really great doing it. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with him. I did not expect to get a lot of trajectory from that, as I said before, because the content is just way different. But I'm really grateful because I learned a lot from him, and still.
For me, that's like the way that I found your channel, and I think for quite a few people. And I wasn't really expecting to start, watching a little more of a person who would be doing Counter-Strike related things. Because for me, I played a game, but do I watch much? I guess that's at a certain point I kind of did, but it wasn't like I would go out of my way to find new channels. I did watch Sparkles. I had an absurd watch time on Onipixel's channel. I will not I will not deny that. I was kind of brain rotted by that, even though I just liked the way that he was funny. That's kind of the main point.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But talking about bigger creators and stuff, since you mentioned Sparkles, are you the type of person who would have like a dream collab for your YouTube channel or not? And who would that be?
A dream collab for my YouTube channel, like in the CS world?
Anything really, right? Because you're a YouTuber in the first place.
Well, there are some YouTubers that I truly enjoy to watch, like the bigger ones, the American ones, like Kelsk. There's one, he's called Kelsky. I don't know if you know him. He does a lot of finals content.
Kelsky. Yeah. Kelsky's great.
Yeah, he's a great guy. War Owl. And it actually happened. We recorded a video together. It's going to... Yeah, it's still not released yet on his channel, but it's going to be.
That's cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to spoiler it. But yeah, that was like one of my dream collabs, actually. So it was not just me. We were like a bunch of people doing stuff. He was the one like where I was looking up to in the Counter-Strike content creation. But also there are like, let me think about that. Who could be the one? Let me just think about it. There are some World of Warcraft YouTubers, but let me just think about it. Who could be my favorite YouTuber? Who am I watching all the time? There's this guy. He's called Matt Diavella. I don't know if you know him. He's not doing any gaming content. He's like doing live content stuff. And he's pretty creative. He films a lot. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's hard for me because I don't watch that much YouTube, honestly. So if I do, I watch like a lot of random content or like game specific content, like the games that I love, like World of Warcraft, and then I watch like all the World of Warcraft YouTubers, Counter-Strike, and then I watch like all the Counter-Strike YouTubers. And yeah, speaking of dream collab, I think I had my dream collabs with two of my favorite Counter-Strike YouTubers. Because it would fit with those people. Like, it would not fit to have, like, and he supported me a lot, Renyan. Like, he gave me a lot of raids. He raided my channel more than once while I was streaming. And he even, after I got scammed, like, he gifted me, like, $250 on stream, which was crazy. But the content would not fit. Because he's like a 4K Elo Faceit player, it just would not fit. His content is basically running around in 25K Premiere lobbies and literally trolling everybody. I'm still amazed that this is even possible what he's doing. But yeah, anyways, so it wouldn't fit. But yeah, that's my dream content.
It's not like necessarily an easy question because there's a lot out there and you could think about a lot of different options and stuff. But it's cool that you got a video with Warhol coming up. That's actually really sick. So I can't wait to see what's going on in there.
I contacted him a long time ago.
Right.
And I had an hour of talk. Like we talked for an hour. We had a call where he thought like he was teaching me a lot about YouTube. He took the time. My initial approach was that I wanted to interview him, so I sent him an email.
Okay.
And I never got the response took a lot of time, so I was pretty sure that he's not going to see my mail. And then after a long time, I got a response, and he said, "You know what? We can do both. Like you have to choose. You can either do an interview with me and upload it on your channel to get some traction, if you would like to, or I can offer you like a private call, you and me, and I'm going to teach you everything what you need to know about YouTube, learning, doing stuff, and like having just a great chat." And you know what? I was immediately hooked. I was like, all right, okay, not even a question. Let's do the talk. Just me and you.
Right.
Yeah, and so I'm so blessed to have people like him offering that. And I think that was one of the greatest chats that I ever had. We talked about 1.5 hours and stuff like that. And then at the end he said like, "Yo, I think you're a cool dude. Are you okay if I invite you to a group? And every time I try to record a video with some people, like you'd be in there and you can join and have some fun with us." And I was like, what? Like one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. Like he literally is. And yeah, so that's why every time there is a funny challenge, I'm in there.
That's actually really cool though. Like to be able to be part of one of those groups, it must be quite a cool feeling, because when I watch sometimes Nate King, for example, he has his group. Different people have their own groups. Yeah, that's really cool, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's sick.
And that's actually funny because the content that Warhol is doing is exactly the kind of vibe that I enjoy. He's not ADHDing. He's not doing skins, gambling. He doesn't have any skin sponsor. Like when he's having sponsor, like, and that's a rare thing, it's maybe like Acer, Corsair, like technology, right? Gear. Not gambling. And he said he's totally against that. And I think that's one of the reasons why, quote unquote, he's not having that rich lifestyle that many other YouTubers or streamers have. Yeah. So he's doing genuine content about things he likes. He played other games. He's doing it for such a long time. And yeah, that's funny that I got into exactly this group because the vibe is matching, right? Like I could never be in that group, Anomaly, Dima, and whatever they're called. Like I could never be in that group, honestly. You know? Because
is it too ADHD,
it's too influencer like, you know what I mean? It's like too ADHD, show off, screaming around, like doing everything for the view.
Right.
Nate King, somebody's saying Nate King's content. Yeah, Nate King is having gambling sponsor as well. I think that's a personal decision. Like Warhol, he told me, and I don't think that he's making a secret out of it. He told me that he's against all of that, and he doesn't want to do that. The only content that he's having on that has skins involved is something that he was doing like long time ago, which is called Unbox Fragathon. So the idea of that was that he unboxes, like he opens a case, and the gun that he's opening in that case is the gun that he has to play with.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That was actually, that's cool. Actually. That's funny. If he was pulling a ZZ or something that like he has to play all that premier match. Back in the day, it was competitive Counter-Strike, like normal comp. Yeah, stuff like that. If he was pulling like, I don't know, a Scout or something like that, or a Zeus, so or an R8, something like that, or Negev. That's content.
Oh, for sure, yeah. That's good content. I like
That's the only skin involved content that I kind of think is funny.
if the centerpiece of the content is like the skin in itself and not like a challenge that you're putting up for yourself, I think that's a whole different thing, right? And so
It's
yeah, one of them.
I mean, that's okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine by itself. If it's like more about, you know, just like, you know, a challenge, you're giving yourself something to involve the community or to try to do something within the game, rather than just centering it around the value of the skin and the rarity of the skin and stuff, I feel like that's a whole different thing. So I can totally agree with why, you know, you would like that, you would agree with that kind of content. Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that. That's a community for itself, and I'm a skin enjoyer myself. So people should not get me wrong. I'm a skin enjoyer. I like to have nice skins. I like to spend money on them, but not to gamble them away. I did one video, because I always say in my streams that opening cases is not worth it. And I know, unfortunately, a lot of people that still think they can pull off their skins. And I did a video where I tried to prove that it's not worth it, because I took $600 and said, like, imagine having $600, right? And then you have a skin that you like, then just buy it rather than open cases. So what I did is I bought 200 cases and opened them in one sitting. The video is still up, I think. I gotta look it up. And opened 200 cases in one sitting.
Yeah.
I did not even pull a purple. So
a purple?
Not even a purple.
What the?
Yeah.
That's insane, actually.
Yeah, that's insane, right? So 200 cases in one sitting, and I proved that it's not worth it, right? Now imagine all these content creators opening and pulling all those knives and stuff like that. Do you know how much cases they're opening? Like the odds of them, of course, they're higher because they're opening like factor 20 more cases than normal people would do. And that's not a problem because they can afford to do so. Now imagine somebody opening a lot of skins on his live stream, on his YouTube video, and all that ad revenue, all those donations in the stream, all the money that he's receiving from the sponsors that he's having from that video, they are making up for the money he was spending opening those cases. And a lot of people don't get it. So it's his job to open cases. He's getting literally paid for that. So the money is not going down the trench. Sorry. It's not going, like, he's not burning any money because he's earning money while doing this. And like, imagine somebody like Onopixel, if he opens 1,000 cases or something like that, I swear to God, just by doing so, he's earning more money than he spent to open those 1,000 cases. Like,
100%. Yeah.
And that's what many people do not understand. It's entertainment. It's a pure entertainment purpose. So I don't see anything. I don't see anything wrong with it because it's entertainment. But people have to understand that when they're having those emotions, watching them, like, oh my God, no, he's messing up, or oh wow, it's crazy. It literally does not matter, because at the end of the day, the job is done. You did some content, you entertained some people, and you earned money along the way. And people have to understand that they should never ever try to do the same. It's like a stuntman. A stuntman, if he's doing some crazy stunts with his BMX bike or with anything else, with his motorcycle, you would never do that. But the guy who's doing it, it's a calculated risk that he's having, and he's earning more money than, he's earning so much doing so. And that's his job. So nobody would jump from a huge ramp or would do skydiving or whatever, but we like to watch it because it's entertaining.
It's a good comparison, honestly, like a good analogy of the whole thing, because honestly, you know, the huge difference between what you just mentioned, you know, like BMX, skydiving, whatever, and, you know, opening a case is that not everybody has the, you know, ability to go skydiving or will just be willing to jump off that ramp with the BMX. However, everyone has, you know, a bit of money laying there, some people more than others, and everybody can open at least one case, right? And once you open one case, then you're kind of down the drain, potentially, depending on what your personality type is and if you get addicted easily or not. But this content doesn't really help, despite the little disclaimers on some videos, like, I only do this because I actually really like how Sparkles does it. He always says, hey, like, you know, I do this because I can do it, don't gamble. You know, it's a pretty regular thing to say, but he does it much more than others, it seems to me, so I really respect that from him.
Yep.
But I feel like despite the disclaimers, it's a pretty dissuasive thing to have a video that just like, just shows someone, doing something that you can also do. If you want to gamble your life savings away, Counter-Strike is not going to stop you from doing that, right? So
Yep.
it's a little bit sad to me because I feel like it makes people feel like they can get a gold or something, but then usually the gold you're gonna get is like a gut knife, borrow forest, and fucking battle scarred, and you're just gonna be crying. And so it's just, and if you even get a gold, that is, as you said, you made a video, got not even a purple, which is insane to me, but hey, so yeah, that's sad.
Gambling sponsors are now the way to earn money while doing content. The other day, I was listening to the Joe Rogan Experience, where he was having Charlie Sheen on. Oh, I can highly recommend that podcast, by the way.
Okay.
There was like, what is happening? Like, Charlie Sheen is getting some traction right now, and of course he's on Joe Rogan. But in the middle of that podcast, there was an ad from Joe Rogan himself, where he was like reading out the lines of his ad partner, and it was a sport betting site, literally a sport bet site. So,
Okay.
and he was promoting that. Like, I was like, yo, Joe Rogan should be the last person on earth to promote gambling. But he was literally promoting gambling. And at the end of the ad, there was like another voice, like that typical American voice, gambling is on your own responsibility. Like, yeah, I swear. And he started to double time like that disclaimer thing. And I was like, yo, it has even reached, yeah, he made millions on that ad. But it, like, on the other hand, would you decline that? Like, would you, like, it's your job to do content, and that's the way to earn money. And if you refuse that, sorry, you're a fool for that. If you're like genuinely want to be rich with that content. But also, you gotta deal with the fact that you made some people, or a lot of people, start to gamble. Wait a second. Power, I read your message. I'm happy you're back. I will read it afterwards, after the stream. So you gotta live with that. And Waral told me himself, going back to him, that he's not fine with that. Like, even doing disclaimers and things like that, he doesn't want his content to be, even if his content is not skins related, he doesn't want to do that. Like, he doesn't want to have those nonsense ads in his videos that actually have nothing to do with his content. And that's, I respect that. I respect that a lot.
Very respectable, yeah.
So
for sure.
It's understandable that like Onepixel, he doesn't have any, but because he's making too much money with other things. But like like it's understandable that Sparkles has Skin Club and so on as his sponsors, because his content literally is about doing risky things in the skin market.
Yeah.
Right? So I kind of get it there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a vicious cycle at the end of the day, because 99% of people, if given the chance to earn that kind of money just to give a little 20-second ad, despite like the moral challenges behind it and how conflicting that might be for most people, I'm not gonna lie, like, at the end of the day, you're living on this earth, living your life, and what other people do and decide to do, even if it's, because of, influenced by what you say, I would say that most people, would take that kind of chance. Now, you can answer this question if you want to or not, but I'm just curious, have you gotten any, like, proposals to have, like, these kinds of, like, websites and, do an advert for them, or never?
See, I'm a YouTuber with around 7K subscribers, and believe it or not, I got around 100 to 120 proposals.
Wow.
And there's and random sites, sometimes from the same site, like 20 proposals from the same site, upcoming sites, normal sites, and I never accepted them, and they offered me some sweet money. But as I said in the beginning, I'm doing good money with what I do already. Like, I don't need that. Those couple bucks that I could do, like, it's a lot of money. They offered me, like, for me being a small YouTuber, doing like just a small clip at the beginning of one of my videos. For 3 videos, they were offering me like $500.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I didn't want to do that. Why? First of all, because my content is not even skin based.
Yeah.
Second of all, like, yo, I'm having like 7K subs. Like, why the hell should I start to promote something. Like, why should I start to promote gambling sites? Like, I'm only having like 7K subs. Like, what the hell? Like, my community is still so small, and I would lose the trust in my community.
For sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it would be something different if I had been like 200K followers or something like that. There would be a lot of people who are into that, but I'm not. I think with the community being that small, and I'm having I built some trust with my subscribers, with each of them, like, I do not want to do that. So I declined all of them, honestly, all of them. I never even considered to do one of them, because it's just not matching my content, not my vibe.
That's fair.
And what the first thing that I would do when I got a new proposal, is that I would check it out on YouTube, and I would just type in the name, and I would find hundreds of channels, small channels, YouTubers that are not even having 100 subs. And I would find videos of them only promoting those sites. And I was shocked, like, yo, dude, you're not even having 100 subs, and you're already only doing those weird ass gambling videos on those sites just to earn a couple of bucks. Like, you're really giving away your soul and your genuity. Sorry, I'm not a native speaker.
Something like that, yeah.
Like your authenticity.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
For a couple of bucks at the beginning of your content creation journey. Like, there's nothing original from those guys besides doing this content already. And I think it's I think that's like that's sad, because I would not follow a channel. Like, if I would see a video of somebody gambling and I see that he has like low subscribers, and then I check out his channel and all he's doing is that, I would just not subscribe, because that's not a content that I want to watch.
From the content creator's perspective, there's one thing, but then from like a human perspective, if somebody might be struggling in their life, if that's what they do to, to be able to earn a living, it's difficult for me to tell if I feel okay judging them for it or not, because of the fact that I'm also fine, like, myself with what I do, financially speaking. But I've talked to a lot of people who are struggling, obviously, and like, do I judge specifically? What if it was a friend of mine? What if it was someone that I know?
I'm not judging them personally. I'm just judging their decision making for their channels. Right. So I personally, like, if you want to do that, you do you. Like, if you need that money, you do you. That's okay. And I do not judge you for trying to make some money online. However, I think that's just poor decision making. If you're really into creating content, if that was really your initial goal, then I think that's poor decision making for a couple of bucks. Like, you're selling your channel, you're basically killing off your channel right at the beginning for a couple of bucks. If you're not interested in that, if you're only doing like only started YouTube to do those videos, go ahead, bro. If that's the content you want to do, if that's genuinely the way how you want to structure your channel, go for it. Then I would happy to say, like, okay, go if that's your thing. I hope that you'll be successful with that, but I don't think that people want to be the gambling thingy, the gambling channel.
I don't think so either, and honestly, like, if somebody were to, because I haven't made much content myself on CS. The only thing I've done is the little series thing about opening those cases, and honestly, it was pretty brain rot itself, to be honest, and that's kind of why I stopped. Because I felt like, first of all, I was spending money every week to not get anything from it, because obviously you're not going to get profit from it, and it's just not really interesting to me. But besides that, it was also the fact that I was like, okay, what am I really doing? Like, I'm getting views somehow, even though I'm a really small channel. Like, one of my videos went up to 4K. A lot of them were over 2K, even though I have 200 subs. So I was like, interesting. But then I kind of realized that, like, the only reason was because of like the short form 1 minute brain rot video with like quick snappy edits and memes and stuff. So I would also feel so strange, if I got a certain offer for a certain amount of money to promote something for something that's completely unrelated to what I do, because yes, I would be opening a case in my video, but that's just for the funny aspect of like, hey, I'm gonna get a blue again, look at me, I'm rage baited, I'm angry, I'm getting a blue again, you know, like that's like, it has nothing to do with like a sponsor, like it would just not really fit. But I totally understand like the financial incentive behind it though.
Absolutely, yeah, I totally understand that as well. But I am in a lucky position where I'm not in the need of taking those proposals. Like, yeah. I consider myself very lucky. Yeah.
You enjoy your day job? I don't know what you do exactly. You don't have to tell me, but do you enjoy it? Is it something you're passionate about, or?
Well, I'm a sales manager, so
Okay.
one of the biggest tech companies in the world. That's all I can say.
Okay. That's enough information.
Just go up, look the top 3, and you're having a 30% chance of hitting the company that I'm working.
That's good enough for me. Good enough for me.
Yeah, and I'm a sales manager right there. So yeah, I enjoy speaking to people. I enjoy negotiating. I enjoy presenting stuff. I enjoy selling stuff. So yeah, I'm a good salesperson, and I enjoy, like, if I'm doing content, I try to sell the content. I'm trying to sell myself, and I think I do that pretty well. And because that's what I genuinely enjoy. But of course, recording the videos and having like the ability to speak free and without script, like I never scripted any videos of mine because I think I should do, so I would have more structures, but I just cannot do it. I just feel off. Anyways, yeah, so I enjoy it, but it's also a lot of mental stress, a lot of pressure, a lot of like pressure for success, for reaching the quota, for being a successful manager as well, and doing some career on that point. Yeah, but I would rather spend my day creating YouTube videos and streaming and only earning a third of what I'm doing right now. That would be worth it. That would be absolutely what I would be into.
I would say that shows the level of passion for sure then, because, you know, if you're willing to not throw away, but, you know, kind of give away a chunk of your revenue just to, you know, end up doing something that you're really interested in, that's pretty... That shows because real interest in content creation.
I mean, if you imagine like all that money that I'm earning, I mean, I'm living a fine life with that, and as I said before, I'm very fortunate and I'm very lucky to be in that position. But it's like at the end of the day, this money is not buying happiness, and trust me, literally, I could not buy happiness. It's not possible for me. Like in what I seek happiness. Like literally, I could buy a Lamborghini, but it would not give me any happiness. I swear to God, it would not give me any happiness. I could travel to the most expensive places in the world, and I would not be happy after it. Like it would not change anything, because at the end of the day, I'm still getting up and I'm still having to do those jobs and those I'm still wasting my potential and talent for other people to be richer than they are right now, even if I'm getting like tons of that revenue, but still. So for me to have the ability or thinking of, all right, imagine like what I'm doing right now, I could like stop everything that I'm doing job wise, and I get up every day, have a big community. I just turn on the camera and I'm having a big genuine community that are interested in my personality, in what I try to do, and what I'm trying to be creative in. And just for a third or just for that much money, so I can just have all my costs covered, I would be good with that. Imagine what a life that could be. And that's why I'm so envious about, like, for all these YouTubers that are living their dreams, not because of their money, but because of the chance to get up and do whatever they want every day. So most people are envious to those content creators because they're rich, like, wow, XQZ is driving his Lambo and blah blah blah. No, that's not the thing. What I'm seeking, like, what I think is something beautiful is that XQZ gets up every day and does what he loves. speaks
Yeah.
speaks in double time chat, and that's yeah. So that's what he loves what he's doing, and that's exactly what I'm seeking, to do what I love every day. Because at the end of the day, he's a millionaire, but he's sitting in a weird position on his chair all day long. So he could do this with literally no money or with millions of money, and like, you know what I mean? If he's not doing that, he wouldn't be enjoying it that much. Or other people like Ohne Pixel, or some, like, just turning on the camera and having people that are watching what you're doing, people that are genuinely interested in what you think about stuff, like people that are interested in your personality, and that's way more worth than anything money could buy.
That actually really lines up with how I think of things. For context, I was, I had a little bit of a moment where, and it actually kind of compares to what you did with Counter-Strike, where I did, really try hard Fortnite when it was at its peak, when it came, the year after it came out, until like for 2 years or so. And so I was doing, I started amateur, then semi-pro. I never had a contract because, of kind of family reasons and everything. But I was, really good at the game, and there was like this kind of thing where the whole time that I was streaming and, hardly interacting with the community because I was just showing my gameplay, really. I was not really talking much. I was always thinking about like the value that I saw instead of getting earnings for streaming and having people be impressed with the gameplay, or earnings for just being good at the game because Fortnite has a really easy prize pool. You can just, like, if you're good at the game, you can earn money even if you're like 13 years old. It's crazy. But I was just thinking, like, having that community, having those kinds of interactions is like what my dream kind of was at the time, in comparison to just sharing good Fortnite gameplay or whatever. And honestly, like, so it really lines up in a way, like, of course, you're talking about a position in sales. I'm talking about Fortnite. You're talking about, but we're both talking about having a community that you can talk to. You can sit down, turn on your camera. Hey guys, what's going on? Talk about things, play a game, have people interact with it,
Yep.
just involve the community in a way. I feel like that's a really beautiful thing. So I totally understand where you're coming from.
And that's, now we are going full circle to what we have been talking at the beginning, is that now I kind of felt that I was obligated to do only Counter-Strike content and not having the personality aspect anymore, in what we just have elaborated on, which kind of took a toll on me, honestly.
Sure.
So because now there was a time where I started, when I was seeing, okay, my videos are doing kind of well. I have to be more ADHD. I have to be more like this in order to generate more views. But then at the end of the day, I was thinking, first of all, that's not me. Second of all, those people who are then following and subscribing, they will be gone in the minute when I show my true face, that I'm a more chill guy, that I actually am more into having chill podcast kind of content, speaking about life and stuff, like being more into philosophy of games, talking about lore of games, something like that. And that it wouldn't be sustainable at all, right? So that's why I kind of opt out of that option, which took a toll on my subscribers and on my viewers, because that's how YouTube works nowadays. Being chill, just being chill like that, chasing like YouTube and all YouTubers, and that's what is happening. All YouTubers and everybody is trying to seek success in that, wants to go viral, right?
I mean,
the only way you go viral is by either rage baiting or doing something very, very stupid, or being like loud and ADHD and all that stuff. The world, unfortunately, has turned out like that, and that's the game, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Yeah, it's exactly like that. It has turned out to be like this, and that's okay. But I'm not willing to play that game anymore. Going back to the reason why I uploaded the video where I was speaking of taking the next step, I was not willing to be part of all of this. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it for me to do ungenuine content, if that's a word, dishonest content, who's not me, only for making bank. Like, honestly, as I said before, I wouldn't like it wouldn't make a difference in my life. And even if I would have like 500K subs, I wouldn't make more money than I'm doing right now. It's hard to do that, right? So I'm not seeking for the money aspect. As I said before, I'm in a very, very fortunate and in a very, very lucky position to not worry about anything. So that's why I never took that route in my content creation. And who knows, I might just start uploading something in a few weeks again, which is genuine content for me. Might be Counter-Strike, might be something about b-hopping because I really enjoy that. Might be something about jailbreak because actually that's a really, really fun thing to do. Maybe something like talking about some other games, about life and all of that. And I will take the low views on those videos. Because I realized that the moment a video of mine gets like, and there are some, gets like 30, 40, 50K views, or a video getting like 500 views, I was getting frustrated when a video would like go under 1K views. But the moment I realized was like, one moment I realized that it literally is no difference. Like if there is like 50K or 500, there's no difference. After turning off the computer, my life is literally still the same. Nothing has changed. And so that's why I thought about making this video in a clear statement into not being interested anymore in doing stuff that I'm not into, not grinding something that is hurting me just in order to get a few thousand clicks. Because anyways, what I'm doing is, I want to have a great time. I want to have a great community. I don't want to have a fake community. I want to have an organic growth, and so I would rather take now the hit. I have some people that texted me that I'm stupid, that I'm throwing away.
Oh, really?
What I build up into the short amount of time. I mean, you can view it from a different, like you can see it from a different view angle. Like some people say, "Wow, in 1 year you have reached 7K followers, amazing." Other people say, well, that's nothing compared to somebody going viral and reaching like 100, 150K or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'm just proud of what I'm doing, and I would genuinely like give everybody the advice to just be yourself. And because if you're being yourself, if you truly do content about topics that you are genuinely interested in, you will be doing great content. You will be doing great quality as well. And then you will reach eventually a lot of people that are like-minded. And I would rather have people that are like-minded, and I have those, right? I would rather have 10 viewers that I'm right now actually having on stream. I would rather have 10 viewers than 5,000 who I absolutely do not align with.
I was going to, and you kind of just ended up saying it yourself, which is really interesting. I was going to kind of ask you, would you really continue if you got a really low view count based on in comparison, to what you used to make, if it was more genuine? But I think, you've kind of answered that question yourself here. And I think, once again, just like the thing about, your current job and everything, it kind of just, shows a genuine interest to make something that you're passionate about, which is really cool because, you don't always know if that's going to be the case with somebody that you watch, that you kind of run into, I usually think to myself, I've interacted with a few bigger YouTubers than obviously what kind of my channel, something really amateur could bring in. And you don't always really know what those people are would do, if they didn't get the views, how genuine is it. But the reason why I was interested in having this kind of conversation is because I do think that there's a lot of you always have the intention to have interesting conversations about things with viewers when I see the streams. And you know, when you talk in a video, it feels like a one-on-one, kind of like the YouTuber is talking to me. And that, you know, is something that's I don't think is that easy to achieve. So it's pretty cool to see that, you know, a genuine guy having a talk. So if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for gaming, let's just like put gaming out the window, would you still see yourself making these little like every day, like I'm gonna have a talk with you guys kind of video? Because I feel like that's something you're quite good at. What would you do? Would you still do it?
I would put away gaming at any time for doing those videos.
Oh, okay.
At any time, because that's exactly what I would love to do. And I was thinking, like, that's the direction that my channels might be taking, is to sit down, have a topic, and just talk about it. Not too long, because the attention span of people in 2025 is shorter than my D. I'm sorry. No, that would be like still very, very long attention span.
Okay.
That would be that's my goal. Like, I would like, if I watch YouTube videos, right, and I'm watching that YouTuber, I don't want to have the feeling that I'm just one of thousands of viewers. I would love to be like, to feel unique. Like, I want that if I'm watching a video of somebody and he's saying something and speaking, like, I want to have him talk to me. That's one thing. That's one of the reasons why I never watch any streamers, because first of all, I don't have the time for it. Second of all, I don't feel seen, like I don't feel heard, because of course they're not keeping, I'm not talking about them speaking and reacting to the chat. I'm talking about, I could be just watching a YouTube video right now, a random VOD. I don't think that's something live right now, because he's not giving me the feeling that I'm with him as a viewer. Something like it's a feeling that I cannot describe, like something to be heard, something to be like, okay, yeah, he's thinking the same. Or if I'm speaking on a video, I try to always speak about, like, I don't speak to many people, I speak to one person. I always try to say, like, hey, you that are, you who is watching. Because I really want to reach the person behind the screen, kinda.
Right.
So, but I don't want to, like, it's clear that if a YouTuber does YouTube videos, including me, doesn't matter if big YouTuber or a really, really small one like me, the goal is to reach views. I mean, that's the whole point of uploading YouTube videos. Like, come on, we don't have to, like, that's the whole point of doing it. Like, you want to reach as many people as possible. However, there is a trade-off that we just have talked about for about an hour already. There is a trade-off, but I personally do not think that, like, you have to find a balance between that, right? Because my personal goal is to have a big community with like-minded people, which comes with views. That's how it is, right? Would I just stop because I don't make any views? No, but it's not because I don't care about the views. It would be a lie if I would not care about views. Honestly, it would be a straight up lie. But what I'm saying is that I would rather, let me just think about it. I think I just lost it. Yeah, so speaking of views, I would be lying if I wouldn't care about views. Now, again, would I stop doing content just because I'm having low views? No, but that's because of my personality. I don't stop just because I haven't been there yet. Like, there are so many things in my life that I achieved by not just working hard, but having the endurance to keep on going. Like, there is a lot of things in my life that I only achieved because I kept going, man. I kept going. And that's the reason. I might have reduced the pace, right? But I'm still going. Like, it's a marathon. It's really a marathon. And I'm still going. Like, if you start to run a marathon with a way too high pace that you're not used to, you're going to burn out. And that's what happened for a time. Like, I tried to force things. I tried, like, after I saw that 1 or 2 or 3 videos took off, and all of a sudden, yesterday I had like 100 subs, and 2 days later, after a video, I had like 3,000. I was like, yo! And I tried to chase that. And actually, this is how my subs got to my channel. Like I never had that organic growth that like having every week people coming slowly gathering as my subs. No, I always had like those jumps. I always had like I uploaded a video and it either flopped or it either went viral with new viewerships, like if YouTube blessed that video. And then I got like 1,000 more subs. All right, that's it. And then for the next 5 videos, I would not even get like 50 or 60 because my videos maybe are too niche they are not getting presented to new people. That was like one of my main problems why I was getting frustrated because I was doing videos and not even my own subscribers would see them, which is kind of weird. Anyways, I'm not talking about the algorithm today, but when a video went off, that's when I got like the next batch of subscribers. And yeah, most of them stay. Like that's beautiful. Yeah. So that's what I was talking about, like this. I will not stop. I might just take off the pace because sometimes for a while I tried to force things. Like I tried to squeeze out 3 videos a week, but which would cost me energy, time, and also money for investing in that. Like sometimes having somebody else doing the thumbnail, somebody else doing the edit because I wasn't getting after. By now I'm doing it again all by myself. Funny enough, when I was doing the thumbnails by myself, I was getting the best views. Anyways, yeah, so now I'm just taking out that pace and I realized that it's not worth it to push things like 4 or 5 videos a week. So I would rather take now a few weeks off and rather produce a high quality video about a nice topic that people actually are interested in rather than squeezing out a video just for the sake of releasing a video. Because that's how I went. And that is one of my biggest mistakes that I have made with this channel. That I should have taken more time in between the videos rather than try to follow these, like the right after uploading a video, which was kind of successful, I kind of got like obsessed with uploading more videos in order to keep up with the momentum. But surprise, there is no momentum. That like, like one video of mine, like I uploaded it and it got like overnight like 30K views out of the blue. Really? Yeah, out of the blue. I think that was the comparison classic offense why Valve neglected classic offensive but stayed behind Team Fortress 2 classic. That one video has like 60, 70K views now, and it got like 30K overnight. And what I was thinking is, oh my goodness, all right, okay, that video went off, which means that YouTube will bless me for the next 3 videos, right? Because now is the momentum. No, it's not. And all I was doing is squeezing out videos just for the sake of squeezing out videos. And yeah, I think that was hurting my channel more than it was returning in invest. So I stopped doing that now. As I said, I kind of like stopped creating content that I'm generally not interested in. And if the channel is growing, then it will be growing organically. And that's what I'm after. So I don't think there's momentum. Just take your time and upload whenever you're ready to upload, whenever you feel that this video is really worth uploading. This video has a lot of potential, and that's it.
That's a good way to see it, and a good, like, just a good, having the perspective of someone who goes through it is quite interesting. It's been a while that I've been disconnected from this kind of, like, YouTube game or whatever, because at the time when I did my Fortnite stuff, I had plenty of people around because I was not managing any of my shit. It was just a lot, and I didn't like it at all, so I let other people kind of do it in a way. But one of the things that I always knew, and even on this current channel that I have, because of the fact that I had a little bit of success with the Counter-Strike series I did, is how like unforgiving the algorithm can be, as you were just saying with that one video that hit the 30K overnight, and then the next one didn't and stuff. One thing I would say is that one video... Wait, we already played this map. Do you want to play it again? Or?
Yeah. No. You are.
The one thing I can say is that I remember the video that I did show up in, the one about Counter-Strike Source, I feel like that had like a healthy kind of like reach. because it was like it's sitting at about 5K something. You have 6K subs. It like it grew, but like in a healthy way. And I really like that video. Biased because I'm inside of it, of course, but I really like the way that you presented things, about a game that needs to have some love around it, especially considering the state that CS2 is in. So, but what has been your favorite video to do over this last year that you've done?
My all-time favorite video, I think it might be that one. Because
really?
It might be that one, yeah. Because let me just have a look. I think it's that one. Because it was something that I am genuinely interested in. That's my personality. It's me being me on a game that I love, that I enjoy, and I think that's one of my favorite, and the other one that I did about Classic Offensive.
Yeah.
Those two actually are my all-time favorite videos. And funny enough, those are the videos not about Counter-Strike 2.
That is actually quite interesting, yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
that's what I learned, and yeah, exactly, that's the trend of my channel. So I either do videos on hot topics that reach 40, 50, 70K views immediately. And I can pull that off because I don't want to sound like to pat my own shoulder, but I think I can pull off the quality.
Yeah.
Like I still remember the first video ever that I did. People were commenting under it. Like for the first few days, nothing happened. I uploaded the first video. I'm planning to quit my job in order to get a successful Counter-Strike YouTuber. The first few days, I had like 5 clicks. Nothing happened. And then I went to vacation, and then I was driving like 10 hours. We were driving to Sweden. And then my phone started going off. And when we were like at the gas station every time, like fueling up, I was seeing that something was happening. I was getting comments every few seconds, like 5, 6, 7, like, and all of these people were commenting like, how the fuck don't you have any subscribers? Like, what the fuck? This is some 100K, 200K subs quality type shit. So I can pull off the quality, and that's why those videos on hot topics, they go well, they pop off, because it's a video about a scandalous topic, about something that is hot right now. And also, it kind of differentiates me from everybody else that is like low on subscribers that is doing a video on that topic, because my quality is superb. I say that. Like, I have a great quality in my videos because I really put much effort in them. I've spent a lot of money on the equipment, on the gear. So on that part, I think I'm good. But then you have the videos that I'm doing where I was like, okay, I kind of gotta do it, right? Counter-Strike 2, that's the thing that I want to do, that I have to do because I promised that. And then those times were the times where the videos were kind of flopping, because I also think that the initial subscribers that came over, they wanted to have me quitting my job, actually. What I said, basically, I said in the first video, like, if I'm not doing well, I'm not quitting my job. What I did is I took 4 months off my job at the start of my channel. And I said, like, if it's possible for me to see any success in that 4 or 5 months, I will be going to quit. But it didn't. So I could not finance anything. So I, of course, did not quit my job. Anyways, so you either have those videos that are popping off, or about hot topics with great quality, or the forced Counter-Strike 2 videos, because, right, I promised to do Counter-Strike 2, which are not going well, because people are just not interested in it anymore. And then you're having, as you said, the healthy videos about topics that I'm truly interested in, which are doing, like, literally in between. They're doing, like, all, like, 5, 6, 7K views, which is good for somebody with 7K subs. So I think I had like a year of trial and error now. I had a year with highs, with a lot of frustration as well. that's like the reason why I pulled the trigger and said, all right, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to step away and see how I'll be developing and in which direction actually I want to go. And yeah, that's like, that's basically like the summary of what happened. And I think that's some data that I can work with now and that I can give you as an advice. That was my test, my journey for everybody that wants to start YouTube. I had videos pop off. I had videos where I forced myself to do in order to be like, you know, to imitate other people, to do some stuff that I'm actually not that much more into it. And they all flopped. Doesn't matter. Quality, content, thumbnail. And then I had videos where I genuinely am interested in topics that I really love to talk about, and those actually made well. Not that well like popping off like a hot topic video, but well and organic and healthy. So I think that's going to be the future of this channel, to do only content that I am truly genuinely interested in, about things that I love to present, because if you love something, and that's what I said in the beginning, you will do great by producing content for that. You will have great ideas because you're genuinely interested in it. So the creativity is going to spark. And this is the reason why Counter-Strike 2 content, like why I lost all the creativity for the Counter-Strike 2 content, because I'm not genuinely interested anymore in doing so. I love this game, and I will keep playing it. I will not stop playing Counter-Strike 2 because I think it's a great game. Honestly, it's a really, really great game. But will I continue that pure face-it grind, that becoming like a wannabe pro in that game and still doing content about reaching that? No, I'm done. I'm not doing that. And some might think, okay, he's a pussy, he gave up. But actually, I don't care anymore. I will not put myself into bad situations anymore to force myself to do some things, because I kind of started off with that. So from now on, I will only do content that I'm generally interested in, and I will grow and I will be successful. I know that. And one day, maybe not as fast as I expected, but one day I will be a successful YouTuber, a successful content creator, because I do what I love and I do it in a good fashion, in a genuine fashion. And it might take like a year or two, but it might also take like 5 or 6 years. Again, if I'm looking at all these current Counter-Strike YouTubers, War Owl, Sparkles, they have been doing that for 15 years. And 100%, if you're looking at Sparkles' channel, he's a great example. I don't think that in the first 5 or 6 years where he was doing content, he could easily live off of that and be that big as he is right now. I think that takes time. And I tried to chase that viral trend. I tried to chase and compare myself to channels who just took off overnight and became famous. I tried to chase exactly that. But first of all, there's a lot of luck involved in this.
Absolutely.
And second of all, I'm just not that type of person. So I realized that even if I tried to do so, it was just not genuine and it was just whack. That's what I learned. That's the tip for any YouTuber, from a small YouTuber. I think it's sometimes very, very important to listen to the experience, not just of big, successful YouTubers trying to teach you.
Man.
I think it's very, very important to hear that from people that are literally in that struggle, that are literally in that process of becoming somebody they would like to become, or if right at the beginning. I think you need to hear that, and that's actually all I wanted to share. That's, I think, one of the most important insights, and I don't think that a lot of people want to talk about that.
No, I mean, people, where the struggle exists, people usually will find it either taboo or will try to kind of diminish the actual importance of what they're saying, because They don't want to seem like, someone who's struggled. They want to seem stronger than they might be. They want to show the positive side in things, which is obviously going to happen. It's a human behavior, which, well, actually, it can really vary, because sometimes people want to show more the negative. But when it comes to doing something like content creation, which I think is about, enjoying and sharing things about, what you enjoy, you're not reporting on negative things usually. It's, well, it depends on the type of content. But when it comes to gaming, a lot of the time it's going to be, hey, look at this game, what I can do in this game, blah, blah, blah. So there's not going to be a lot of information shared about like the struggles, especially like the more within the micromanagement and like how you plan your videos, how successful those videos become and everything like that. So I can kind of see that point of view, and I think a lot of people could learn, as you said, from, listening to any kind of creator, doing any kind of thing, with any different type of reach as well. Smaller creators, bigger, the biggest creators, the smallest creators, you can learn from everyone pretty much. But you have said a lot in the last few minutes, and I wanted to touch back on when you were talking about what your favorite videos were, and like how the healthy type of videos and the less healthy type of videos. And I can say from a viewer's perspective that, when you're doing one of those more healthy videos, like there's a big difference in how like we, or at least I, feel about that content. Like when I watch it and I see, you have like a bright smile on your face when you're talking about Counter-Strike Source, there's quite a difference between that and you talking about, the difficulty that you had with your teammates in a game of Face It or something like that. For example, it's obviously, on one end, you could have someone watch something and be like, hey, look at this guy, he's raging because of his shit teammates. It's really funny to watch. But you could also see it as like, yo, this guy is covering a really interesting topic about Counter-Strike Source, and I like to see that, or about Classic Offensive or whatever. So, I feel like there is definitely a big contrast and a big difference that does play its part in how enjoyable the video really can be. So,
absolutely, and that's what I learned.
Yeah, so it's honestly, yeah, it's something that's to be remembered and to be noticed when it comes to this kind of content. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's something that I only found out by trial and error for over a year now. Right? I couldn't have not, like, if you would ask me like a year ago, I would have thought that my best videos would be those where I'm like rage baiting, where I'm doing that viral kind of stuff,
Yeah.
I flew out of the map.
Okay.
Let me just kill myself. No.
In game.
Yeah, that's actually what I found out, that now talking with you about that, I'm actually like, I'm reminiscing right now, and I think, we played that map actually. Let me just talking with you about that. Now I'm sure in which direction I like. That helped me a lot. I mean, now I'm sure that it's going to the right direction, just because now it's more clear for me to understand like what I was good at, to hear that from anybody else,
Sometimes you just need that a little bit, right? You're having a conversation, and talking with maybe your family members might be one thing, talking with fellow content creators may be one thing, but obviously talking with a viewer and someone who consumes your content can also contribute. I mean, for me, when I make music, I don't really make YouTube videos, but when I make music, and sometimes just sending it to a person who doesn't really listen to that kind of music can be interesting. Sending it to someone who's listened to all of my music can be interesting, and it really like it's these different perspectives and like points of views on what you make that will actually like be the best thing for you to reflect on what you do, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm so grateful, as I said, like having you guys being that honest, like that's exactly the kind of viewership that I want to have, right? And I'm very grateful for that.
That's awesome. I don't think that everybody is blessed with that. I think we were talking about things like XQCO and Pixel and stuff. I'm sure they're happy about what they get success-wise, but there's a chance that, at certain times they wish they could know their viewers a little bit, But it's hard to know your viewers when you have 100,000 of them pulling up every stream, or 50,000. It's hard to, get that kind of connection. And I think that's one thing that you do sacrifice if you really become like massive, is that genuine kind of connection, being able to talk with the viewers, look at every comment, see what they say, and be really in touch with like what people want to see from you, because at a certain point it becomes much more like of just a business kind of related thing. Like Mr. Beast has no idea what his viewers think. He has many people working, like a huge team working on his videos. He doesn't really like, of course I'm sure he has a say in the creative direction of everything, but it's a very different thing. Obviously that's the most extreme example, but I would say that as the more you grow, the further you may grow apart from your viewers. So there's definitely something to be appreciated, like when you are a YouTuber of your size who has like a healthy little community. On the Discord I always see people talk about things, and it's like it's pretty cool. I would say that's pretty cool.
That's the nature of those things, right? If you're getting a big YouTuber, of course, you're losing kind of the track of who your viewers really are and what they're interested really in. I mean, that's normal, right? And like there are content creators that are aiming actually for still keeping up with their viewers, doing stuff with the viewers together. Like War Owl still opens up his games when he's streaming to his viewers, which is great.
That's cool, yeah.
So yeah, sometimes he gives the server IP and then like, come on, let's go join me into some games. And that's beautiful actually. But there are then, speaking of Mr. Beast, I don't think Mr. Beast is a content creator. That's something else. Like Mr. Beast is the successful YouTuber, yeah, but I don't think that has anything to do with content creation. I think that's the same with he evolved that much into something that literally his channel has become like a TV channel.
For sure.
I don't see his videos as YouTube videos. That's like a huge CNN TV channel, whatever, or like like something that just releases like high production shows. It's a show. It's not a YouTube channel. It's literally just a show. So that's why I think that just has shifted from being on the TV to being on YouTube. But I think that's the only thing. The only thing Mr. Beast has in common with YouTube is that the platform his videos are seen is YouTube.
Yeah, there's no genuine like YouTuber connection within what he makes, and I think he's definitely accepted that and stuff. But it's more like a TV kind of personality instead of YouTuber per se, and that's how some of this like successful YouTuber business kind of stuff kind of ends up working. I mean, when I watch even French YouTube, the YouTubers that I used to watch back in the day, I'm afraid to say that there is not at all the same vibe as they used to provide back in the day, but everyone is going for these feature and fun kind of vibe, which is a thing that's very present in France, where you just have a feature. So you invite another YouTuber to one of your concept videos where they kind of like, it's like, again, like a TV show. It's not really anymore like a pure, more genuine content. And you can have high production in a video that is genuine though. And I think that sometimes I'm much bigger of a fan of those videos where there's a YouTuber talking to the camera, he shows something, he has really good, like his editors definitely put a lot of work in that video, there's a lot of research that's being done, but you feel like a one-on-one, more than just like, hey, this is a TV series, or something.
I think we covered now all the aspects of content creation YouTube, but yeah, that's
pretty much it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I do have, I think, a good closing question, which I like to put. You can give me your opinion, or we don't have to necessarily. Your opinion would be probably appreciated for this one, but I'll leave it as an open question for anyone viewing the video too. And I think, given that we talked a lot about, numbers, given that we talked a lot about doing what you want to do or doing what you kind of have to do about CS2 and deciding whether or not that's something that you really want to like keep making the same kind of content on, what really defines success when it comes to your journey as a content creator?
Success in a journey being a content creator is to finish off the day and that what you did today had value for people, to be a valuable member of the community, to produce content that delivers value for in any kind, like whether it would be entertainment, some informational purpose. To know that you made people smile today, that's exactly how I measure success. Because I could have 1 million subscribers. If I would do content that I'm generally not into, I wouldn't consider myself a successful person or content creator. So having a good balance between making a good business out of creating good things. I mean, yeah, exactly. You're a successful content creator if you know how to make a business about being creative, about delivering good content and genuine content. If you can make a business out of those things while still being happy, then you're one of the most successful people on earth, but then you're a successful content creator. I think that sums it up pretty well.
Yeah, no, that's really good, and I think that just like lines up very well with what could make one happy whilst being successful, because not everyone is happy whilst being successful. So I like that answer from you, and I guess this kind of like closes it off for me. I really appreciate that you came onto this little concept. I like that we did it in Counter-Strike Source 2, just like the first time that we talked. I feel like that was a pretty fun experience. Just getting on, just having deep conversations on a good old classic D-Hop map. So I appreciate that. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for the talk. And yeah, you see, being in Counter-Strike Source is kind of the safe space that I would want to be in. And we had the conversation flowing because we were in an environment that we were both familiar with, that we both love and connect a lot of happiness with it. But yeah, thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed that. And I would be really, really open to do more of those.
All right, man. You have a good rest of your day then.
Thank you. You too.